And we're back. Hello, everyone. We're without
Dun,
Asian this
dun,
week.
dun.
Que pasa, huevos?
He was being a nerd. But yeah.
Um, so do we want to start with the Thursday Nodder, or do you want to run your victory lap first,
Ugh.
Coon?
I'll wait. I'll wait.
Okay.
I'll wait. I already triggered Mook earlier. I'll wait a little bit.
Well, don't worry, y'all. I promise details of the infamous Mook takes L's week will come to light at some point during this pod.
Yeah.
But yeah. So we had a game last night.
It was a game
Yeah,
of
we did.
football.
Detroit Lions going
The
in
Detroit
to
Lions.
Green Bay
The Detroit
And owning
Montgomerys.
Lambeau still.
in Lambeau. Very important game for the NFC North.
We are now number one.
For now.
I think the game kind of looked like Detroit has the more talent. Looks like they
Yeah.
they firmly controlled the game. I don't know how y'all feel about it, but I've said before, I don't know what to make of the Packers yet, but I think the Jordan Love experiment's very fascinating. Like, I don't think he's been bad. I don't think he's been good. I think, they caught a break when they played the Saints last week. I mean, caught two breaks because, Carr went out and Dennis Allen didn't go out. So who's to say? But yeah, I just think the Jordan Love experiment is very fascinating. As in, like I said, give me till Thanksgiving, Christmas, that area, and I'll have I feel like a firm pecking of where I think Love kind of is in the NFL. But I think right now that Packers team is a wild card team where I don't know. I don't know exactly what they are yet. I think they're a little bit better defensively, probably a little worse offensively than they are with Rodgers. But I think that's fascinating. Where I think Detroit's just they are who we thought they were. They love to run the ball. They have two backs to do it. You got some good receivers there. Got a good a possible good receiver coming back. He's
Quick
hardly got to
question.
play since he's been drafted. So
You said we had two backs?
yeah,
Who's the
Gibbs and
second back?
Montgomery.
Oh, Gibbs is starting right bench.
Yeah,
So,
no.
What's up?
unfortunately, we're not using Gibbs. We're running
Yes.
Montgomery into the ground until he has nothing left, and then we're going to show Gibbs what he has.
Dude, that show
So,
was
I
so
don't understand, as a Detroit Lions fan, why we drafted him 12th right now is looking very
That's what a
stupid.
lot of people were saying.
7 attempts. Montgomery's hurt. 17 attempts. 7 attempts.
8 attempts, 40
Hey,
yards. What I'm
listen,
saying is
you're
y'all
winning
gotta.
games. Don't question it.
What I'm saying is y'all got a very good backfield. Like
Yes. No, I get what you're saying. It's
that.
just,
That's
as a
the
Lions
that's the
fan, it's
point of the
frustrating.
matter is
Don't be frustrated. You're winning games. Don't
and
question
he
it.
went in
Don't question the magic,
St.
Aaron.
Brown in his beer bath. Is that something that happened after the game?
That
Yes.
happened
So,
during the
no, he
game.
jumped up there after his touchdown after he made Raul Douglas look like an idiot. And he jumped up with the Lions fan, and a Green Bay fan was a roll up and poured beer all over his helmet just because they're dumb fans. They're ignorant. They don't like that we come in there and you hear
I was
Detroit
gonna
Lions
say,
chants.
in
It
all
was
your years
awesome.
of being
Even
a Lions fan, when's the last time you can remember Detroit going into Green Bay and just looking dominant?
They've had their
last
number
year
a
when we
couple
shut
of
them out of
years.
the playoffs. So the last
But
three
but but
years
y'all
now
didn't
we have.
look dominant in that last game.
I mean, we shut down
The Rodgers had the
Kirby
ball with a
Joseph
chance to win.
and we picked it.
Yes, I get that. But I'm saying, when's the last time you remember Detroit looking
I
that
mean,
dominant in Green
that
Bay?
dominant 27-3 at half or whatever. It's with like what -1 yard. It's been a long time.
Yeah,
Probably
like
never in my
I was gonna say, I
lifetime.
don't think that's probably ever happened in your life.
the Packers
The
fans
deer
are the
night train
worst.
lane era.
So
But the
Pluto,
Packers are fake. Like their defense is so iffy. For Sean Gary, great pass rusher. Um, their Quay Walker or whatever, he needs to get his head on straight. If he wants to play football or if he wants to be a thug. They got a lot going on. And Jordan Love, if you pressure him, as you see, he folds. So
Oh, I think a lot of that is it's his first season. Like, there's gonna be growing pains.
He also has
Like
no
I said,
line.
well,
I
yeah, but that's what I'm saying. If you give him time, he can dissect, of course, but anyone
I
can.
think
But
there's I
if you
think there's growing
pressure, there's
pains,
not much.
and he's been missing his one. Like,
What do you
tonight was
mean?
the first time
Dobbs
he.
has been there the whole time.
Yeah, but the technically the one is
That is
Christian
one
Watson.
scary
I mean,
receiver.
y'all keep saying this, but it's gonna be Dobbs, man.
I
Yeah,
mean, I would
Dobbs
love
is
for it to be Dobbs because I have him in a league. But
honestly Dobbs is the true number one.
until Christian Watson is fully healthy, because he was definitely playing like he wasn't playing all the snaps tonight. Until I see that Christian Watson is in a full game, and Dobbs is out targeting him, I'm not gonna say he's the one because I feel like Christian Watson's earned the right to be the one. So,
I don't feel like he's earned anything. I feel like he's been all hype.
I mean,
well,
technically, I mean, even Rogers said
if
that
you
like Rogers wouldn't throw his way because the dude just kept dropping, but Rogers was forced to throw his way. The simple fact is there was nobody else.
you watch
Literally,
the
was no
last
one
8
else.
games of last year, the man was a touchdown monster.
Yeah, and you know
Let,
who
I
else
mean,
was a touchdown monster? Dobbs.
I don't think so.
I had him last season. He was really good for me. So
But I don't know. I just think the Green Bay experiment is very interesting, and like I said, I just want to know where this team's gonna stand around Thanksgiving and in the holiday, winter football. But I think Detroit kind of said, you are who we thought we were, and
yep.
that was kind of my thoughts for the game. We know what the Lions want to do, and they're more talented at it
And
right
what's
now.
even more special is even with all the hype that Detroit had, there was still a bunch of people who were picking Green Bay to be the favorite. And so that's why that win, walking into their home place, punching them in the mouth and keeping them down, and having our fans chant our team's name, that's a statement we made. So
I
we're going to
I
go ahead and hush
feel
people up to let people know we run the North, and we're going to continue to run that North.
what do you mean? The
I
Bears are
feel
about to
if
be
a
on
lot
that
of the
comeback
money
season.
was on Green Bay, it's because they were the home team.
Yeah,
Like
no.
I said, I feel like Goff being a favorite on the road was a very weird feeling. I didn't know how to feel about it. That's why I had only put 6 on this game.
See, Goff flipped that switch early because he threw that pick six,
Um,
and or he threw that pick, and that's when that switch got flipped, and he started putting lasers. That throw he had to Reynolds on the sideline, where he lopped it over the DB imperfectly, where Reynolds caught it one handed. That was one of the best throws I've ever seen out of Goff. That was some pinpoint accuracy right
No, I
there.
wish he just had to throw that football more for fantasy purposes.
you know,
Yeah, I have him
when
as a quarterback in a few leagues.
you know when Goff got traded to Detroit, we were all like, "Oh man, this is a terrible decision. What are they doing?" But now he
Mm-hmm.
seems to be leading this like restoration. At least till he's been to the Super Bowl before. He's been in the big moments, and he seems like he's found a nice home in Detroit.
He's going to be a great young mentor for Hendon Hooker. So I honestly, so with Hendon being such a older drafty, like he pretty much is going to see the field. I'm thinking in a year or two. I think Goff will be here for another year or two, and then he's going to slide on out.
Yeah, I just think
And
Goff is there as long as he's winning you games. So I don't know.
So, or
you,
else, why would you? I mean, I guess we spent what, a third or fourth round on Hooker.
Yeah,
you
if
gotta
Goff is
think.
winning you games and taking out playoff runs, there's no reason to bench that man.
I just would like to see some packages with Hooker on the field. Not this year. I want to let him heal up and get his strength, but I want to see some of them packages because on the option he's going to be great. And if everyone forgot, he was on his way to being a Heisman winner. He was torching colleges 500 yards left and right, and so the man can throw. And it's just a matter of time before him and J-Mo get a real good connection. Because Jameson is one of the fastest receivers in the league.
You have to think too. Like Detroit's drafted smart. They've built this team really smart, and like I said, you have to think Goff plays really good at home.
Oh yeah, he's very comfortable there. Detroit Stadium.
But first off, Mook, is there anything you want to say on this game? Do you have any thoughts?
It looked one-sided.
Well, it kind of was one-sided. Also, Pluto's in my chat. He's a Vikings fan, and you're obviously a Lions fan. Do y'all both agree with the sentiment that the Packers fans are the worst?
Yeah, hands down, they are the worst. They're very scummy. They always treat their the opposing team's players like crap. So it's always been a Green Bay thing.
The funny thing is, I heard the opposite from our buddy Ref. I heard that everybody at the game was saying that the Green Bay Packers fans were super nice to them and stuff, so I don't know how true that is.
I don't know. Pluto's
there's
Vikings
a lot
fan.
of
Pretty bad as it is.
I mean, there's always going to be bad apples in every fan base, so I don't know how true
that's
it
true,
is.
but there's a lot of hate between Green Bay and Detroit. Like in the North, I want to say that's probably one of the kind of bigger rivalries. Could be wrong, but I want to say the big rival is going to be
probably
Green
Packers
Bay and
Bears.
I don't know. It's always been kind of one-sided.
It's hard to hate somebody you curb stomp,
That's
bro.
been one of the. Well, I'll say though, that's been one of the longer ones because in the '80s, I think that rivalry went the other way.
I feel like Vikings and Packers had each other's.
Back when the Bears were good. I feel like the
back
Bears
when
just
they had all the...
Well, now the Bears just exist, Pluto, because we're in an offensive league and the Bears can't get offense right. So therefore, yes, the Bears just exist.
The Bears just exist.
I need them to do more than exist this week, man.
I don't know
I'll put 10 on my boys, by the way.
I had 5 on the Lions.
I had, I think, 3.
Like I said, I had 6.
Agent also picked the Lions with 2.
I like the Lions, but I Green Bay games are weird just because I feel like they're such a wild card team. I still am getting a sense for what Love can do. I like the talent that they have. I think Musgrave's going to end up being big for him down the line. I like Dobbs. I like Watson. I mean,
a lot of
I like all the receivers, honestly. Tours is fucking.
Jalen Reed's been looking good.
Yeah, Jalen Reed. Tours is a big play machine. Like when you just need a big play, you throw Tours out there, and he comes out with a crazy catch.
The only guy I don't like on that offense is AJ Dillon. That dude.
Yeah, he's just there.
Dude, well, last year he was dominant every time he got the ball, and you just don't see that spark this year.
I don't think he had a single positive rush against us.
That's what I'm saying. Like
every time we got the ball, we were just there.
Last year, it felt like he was ripping off like 5 or 6 a carry, and then.
No, he was looking good last year, but
this year he's been looking bad, and he's gotten to start twice, which is not a good sign. Because Aaron Jones is getting older. I mean, that man's still scary this year. He wasn't scary this game, but
no.
Trust me, I watched him week 1 when he was ripping through. So
the last thing I want to say about the Lions is our defense is missing very key players. Kirby Joseph and C.J. Gardner are safeties, and Emmanuel Mosley hasn't even seen the field yet.
Also, can I just say that you're fucking
on IR? What exactly did he do?
Torn pectoral. He could be out for the season.
Ooh,
your coach
was
a dumbass in the end of that game, though. Sending Brian Branch back out there after he had an injury problem when the game was in hand.
So, if we want to talk about that, I do not agree. They gave him medicine and they wrapped it under the sock, over the sock, and over the shoe. And he is one player he's a game changer.
Yeah, and you send him back out there with a 20-point lead, or I think it was, or 10-point lead.
And I don't care if it's him wanting to or not. Go sit on the bench. You're done.
Yeah.
Plain and simple, we cannot lose you. He is a big key to our success.
Because if you notice, after he got taken out, that's when they started getting some passes down the field.
Exactly.
And they could have ended that game with him on the bench and it would have been fine, but they threw him back out there and he looked like he got hurt again. So I'm like, oh, is he okay now?
Yeah, we definitely don't need him hurt.
But that's all that I essentially have for this game.
Same.
Like it's got its peace of mind.
Yep. Alright.
Yep.
Well, we're moving on to the Atlanta Falcons versus the Jacksonville Jaguars
Dude, this game is at
in
4:30
London.
in the morning, your time.
Yeah.
Godly.
Yeah, football at 4:30 in the morning.
Any takers?
I'll start with this because Trevor's my boy. I got 11 on the Jacksonville Jaguars. They haven't looked necessarily amazing, but this is like a home game for them, going across the pond. And like I said, I personally don't buy the Falcons. I haven't bought the Falcons all year. They want to keep the ball on the ground, and I don't think Jacksonville's gonna let them. I think Jacksonville's gonna rev it through the air. They're gonna get Kirk involved. They're gonna get Ridley involved. They're gonna take advantage of the fact that they come to this stadium in London every year, and they're staying there for a week. They play there next week too. I don't know who they play next week.
Yeah,
but
they're gonna be there
Dude,
for
why
a
is
little bit.
Jacksonville get shafted like that?
I mean, I don't think they're both their home games. I think one's the other team's home game.
But it's still just Jacksonville's home game.
It still
Yeah,
sucks that they're like,
practically
oh, we're not
Jacksonville.
They've been there the most.
So,
Can you imagine if they were stationed in the UK, dude? They'd have such an advantage because everybody'd have to fly there well, they would have to fly back to the States for their 8 games. So it'd be like the biggest advantage, disadvantage in the league. Players would hate going there. But, yeah, I just think this is a nice bounce back spot for the Jacksonville Jaguars. They're getting out of this funk where they were playing their division. Like, for some reason, they always have fits with the Colts, Texans. They kind of own the Titans, but they have fits with the Colts and Texans.
Especially
no
the
matter how bad those
Texans for
teams
some
are.
reason.
Yeah.
I almost picked the Texans because I saw I saw the statistic behind like how they lost so much. So I was like, no, I can't.
They beat Indy in Indy, which is something they've also struggled to do. So I was like, you know what? They'll knock the they play the Bills next week. It's also the Toy Story game.
yeah.
Yeah, the Toy Story game thing is interesting.
That's something.
Bills Jags in London could have playoff implications, but yeah, I got 11 on the
sure.
Jags. I like this spot for them. Pretty, nice arena. It's kind of like their home turf. The one thing that does scare me in Atlanta's favor is the grass is normally thicker there, and Atlanta loves to run the ball, and I have no doubt they're at least going to try that if the Jacksonville Jaguars offense can't get going. But yeah, I like the Jags here, and I don't know. I think you were talking about the Texans. I feel like that might be an anomaly because I feel like Stroud may be him with how he's looked these first 3 weeks. So bounce back spot for the Jags.
6 on the Jags. Just to get
what?
that out of the way. Asian put 6 on the Jags. Just to get that out of the way.
Aaron, would you like to go?
Other than that, I put 13 on the Jags. I mean, when the Lions went up against Atlanta, I didn't see much. Jacksonville, they already showed that they are a contender, and they're gonna. I mean, like you guys are saying, home field advantage pretty much when it comes to London at this point, and they're gonna dominate Atlanta. That's all I gotta say about that game.
I put 6 on the Falcons. I mean, the Jaguars aren't Detroit. That defense isn't going to be nearly as fucking loaded as the Detroit defense is. So I imagine they'll be able to run the ball this week. Also, I like the Falcons. I made it known that I like the Falcons. I do think Jacksonville should win this game because they have home field advantage technically. But
that game for Jacksonville.
I think it's very easy. I think it's very possible that Jacksonville could let that loss to the Texans spiral them into another loss, especially going overseas. So
I could see that.
But I got 6 on the Falcons. I could see this go either way.
I got 5 on the Falcons. I also like the Falcons as well. I think the Falcons got a pretty good defense, and the offense to the Jags hasn't been really the greatest. They seem to be struggling in the red zone, and if that continues to be a problem, which I think it will be, then I think Atlanta should win this game. I got 5 on Atlanta.
Look, you know what my problem with Atlanta is?
Is that you hate
It's
them?
like they drafted all these core positions and then forgot to get the quarterback to go with the rest of the team.
Ritter's there.
They got
I just don't buy
You're
Ritter.
throwing Ritter way too much shade, man.
Well, he hasn't shown me anything to make me not throw shade.
But
at
you're
him.
giving him this much shade so early on, but you're not giving the same amount of shade to Love.
No, because Love sat for 3 years. If Ritter was behind a Hall of Fame quarterback for 3 years,
You give him more leeway.
yeah, and I feel like
Wank
Love has
vision.
looked way better.
I mean,
Let's see here. Comp at the Lions, 55.3%, 201 yards, no TDs, no interceptions. 59.4%, 237, 1 TD, 1 interception, 79 rating. 83.3 completion percentage against the Panthers, 115 yards, 1 TD, 0 interceptions, 111 ratings.
yeah, that's
So
his
his best
MO.
game is a game he threw 115 yards in.
And he also rushed a
Whereas-
touchdown in. But here's the thing, he's not, he's just a game manager. That's what they drafted. They drafted a game manager.
Whereas
I think it's just an Atlanta hate biasy, to be honest.
no, it's not. Whereas, Jordan
I
Love,
agree.
he did lose to the Falcons. That Falcons defense is good, but I just think Love overall has looked better.
Yeah, no, I think Love looks better than Ritter also. I'm just saying, you're giving so much shade to a guy who's a game manager when he hasn't even played terrible.
I'm saying I feel like the Packers trust Love. I don't see that Love with Desmond Ritter. I just don't think the Falcons trust him.
Well, I guess we'll see. They give him the year, so.
And if they don't, they always got Taylor Heineke. I'm a big fan of Heineke.
You got
Heineke
Heineke
was
if they need to
great
come out.
The Commanders.
But yeah. Moving on from that game, we have actually a fun one, probably.
Very
The
fun.
game of the weekend.
We got the shooter game of the week probably here. We got the Dolphins at Buffalo going against the Bills. I'll start. I got 14 on the Fins. They put 5 rushing and 5 passing touchdowns last week. Not going to do that this week, obviously. But a team that has that much speed and that much power on offense, I think the Dolphins might be the best team in the AFC, minus the Chiefs, but it's close.
Well, week 9 in Germany, Dolphins Chiefs.
Gonna be a good one.
Anyone else?
Yeah,
I'll
I got
put
8 on the Fins. I just right now I'm not picking against Miami. I'm not putting 14 on them because much as I think there's bad vibes in Buffalo, this is an in-division game, and I think it's very possible that Buffalo wins the home game against Miami. But I'm not picking against Miami right now. That offense is clicking on all cylinders.
I only put 14 on it because the slate of games this week are ass.
Yeah, this 8 is where it kind of landed as I was like, okay, do I feel more confident in Miami or this team with the ones below it? And I ended up putting 8 on the Dolphins because I feel confident in the Dolphins more than most teams. I'll say this, if Buffalo wins this game, which is very possible, maybe I'll finally be convinced that all those bad vibes that I think exist around Buffalo are starting to dissipate. But it's like, I don't know. What has Buffalo really shown me to get the confidence? They beat the shit out of a Manders team that I wasn't sure was legit anyways. They sacked Sam Howell. That dude has been sacked so many times. I think they're saying he's already hit the he's already been sacked like 20 times through 3 games.
W.
I'm starting to, worry that guy ain't gonna make it through the season. But
hit
I
that
got
much
8.
or not.
Yeah, I got 8 on Miami, but this game, I wish I could have went lower, but the slate of games didn't allow it. A division game, this game, you know, the games between Miami and Buffalo could go a long way to deciding seeding in the AFC East, but until I get a reason not to pick up that machine in Miami, I'm gonna keep picking it up.
Also, can we just say 70 points last week? My God.
Well,
Yeah,
I've
both
never seen it.
Mostert and
I
Archane both totaled for 9 of the touchdowns.
I've never seen a team give up in week 3, and then there was
Yeah.
last week's Denver
Yeah,
Broncos.
that was definitely one of the worst performances I've ever seen.
It
And
was
one of the
embarrassing.
best at the same time.
But Miami, like, they have one of the fastest, if not the fastest team, and that shows you what speed can do. Because you guard Tyreek with 3 people, now you're leaving Waddle,
Well,
Mostert, Archane.
they were missing Waddle is the thing.
Yeah.
Well, yeah,
And
but
you can say what you want, but that Denver defense was good last year for most of the season.
But I mean, maybe Miami's just going to start clicking, and we're about to see what we saw out of KC a few years back, where they were
Well,
rolling over teams 40, 50 points.
that's why I have 8 on Miami. I feel like they ain't gonna roll over them. I mean, we just seen it when they played New England in division. They won, but it wasn't a stomping or anything.
Yeah,
Um, my one, like I said, as because I own Tua in a league, and you're damn right, I got a backup quarterback on that roster because it's very. I am very concerned. I'm just like, that's my one concern for this team is like Tua, please stay healthy. If he stays healthy, I
yes.
think they continue to roll. So
Yeah, that's why I have 12 on the Dolphins, because I don't like what I see out of Buffalo, and I'm really liking what I see out of Miami. So we've already pretty much said what we needed to about the game, but I threw 12 on Miami.
How much did Asian put on it?
I could see this game being close. I threw 6 on the Fins. But man, but the way y'all are talking, it kind of makes me want to put more.
the
Well,
Madden
this
curse.
is how my slate went. So
Asian put 3 on the Dolphins as well.
yeah, he was
I'll
able.
say this, Pluto. The Bills are that team. There's not a better team in the league with a lead than the Buffalo Bills. When you get the Bills in a game where they don't have a lead, it gets really dicey really quick.
Josh Allen gets in his head a lot.
Well, Coon, we
Uh,
go from talking about the most anticipated game of the
this
week
is
to
my most
whatever.
anticipated game of the
No,
week.
we were just talking about the most
No, this
anticipated
is
game of the
the
week.
most anticipated game of the week. The
Yeah, we're going
stupid
from
bowl. The Broncos at Chicago against the Bears.
Imagine this bit would have been a primetime game.
Last year,
Hey man, Raw might have done 3.75 million if this was the primetime game this week.
Jesus, dude, this is.
So to get it out of the way, Asians got 1 on the Broncos. I also have 1 on the Broncos. I think after getting your ass whooped on TV that bad, you come out with a little different swag to you, so it hurts, and you're gonna put a beating on the next people you see, or at least you're gonna try. And Chicago's not really a team to stand up there. Justin Fields is really missing a lot of reads this year, reads that any average human could see. And then you got the play caller not calling any kind of plays to fit his scheme. 1 rush play out of 3 weeks is unacceptable when you have a Lamar Jackson Jr. in your backfield who can rush for 1,000 yards. He showed you that. And so teams are just so focused on him passing, and he's not a pocket passer. He's an improviser. So he needs to move out of pocket, boot. He needs to be able to run, read option. The Bears, they just need to fire everyone in that organization.
Can I
They're
just tell
terrible.
you, as a Justin Fields owner, it's been very painful.
And you
It's
guys
got
know how
it's
high
too
up I was on Fields.
Aaron, it's to the point that I played Baker Mayfield in my league last week.
Well, you made that bet. You had better options than Mayfield.
No, I mean Stroud. Stroud was the only other
Stafford.
one that I would have done for. Stafford, I think he scored about the same as Baker.
I know, but you had other options.
Here's the thing: if Evans don't drop that touchdown in the end zone, that would have been my best quarterback play of the year.
Thank God for that.
You would have also beat Mook had Evans not dropped that touchdown.
Thank God for that.
That being said, I am. You're playing Purdy now. Fuck Phil. Mook plays Purdy. I picked up C.J. Stroud. That's my current quarterback option. But on topic, I also put 1 on Denver. I had 5 on this game, but seeming that I moved things around, which I'll explain it when we get to that game. Here's the thing. Chicago looks like the worst team in the league. They're probably going to win the Caleb Williams sweepstakes. I don't know if I want to see Caleb Williams there because they can't get offense right. They've even brought in pieces, and it's still just a tire fire. I think, at some point, Kuhn disagrees with me that they're going to move off Fields at the end of the year, but
I just think it's stupid. I don't disagree that they're
he's-
going to do it. I just think it's a dumb thing to do.
I mean, he's 5-19, and it just isn't 100% the organization's fault at some point. He's missing reads. He's not looking great. Like, they went out and got him some pieces, and his O-line isn't the greatest, but Chicago just looks like nothing is lining up correctly. Which, at least with Denver, you can say that they've blown a few fourth quarter leads, but they've been in those, aside from last week, where they got embarrassed, they've been in their first couple games. Up until the point that they got just straight robbed against the Commanders. Like, I don't think Russ and Sean Payton's going to work, but I do have them getting a win this week just to the sure fact that, I think a team coming off being embarrassed I think he's going to have a fire lit under him where Chicago looks like the worst team in the league, and I just don't think they know what they're doing at this point. So, 1 on the Denver Ponies.
I also put 1 on the Broncos.
Uh,
I think Battle of Ass. This game is literally a flip of the coin, and I feel like Denver at least has a small amount of life and can put points up, while Chicago is just straight ass. That is all.
bro, this game's so bad. What the fuck? Why do you all? I'm switching for one reason. You all went Denver, so I'm gonna bear down this week. I can see it go either way. I see a world.
You're not putting high confidence.
No, it's only 3. I see a world where Broncos fans, as I've been saying off podcast, their catchphrase, "It can't get worse than this week, can it?" Oh, it could. It might. So I see a world where Justin Fields is just running the football without having any designed plays because they just let that happen. I see a world where they get shit on and locked up also. I don't know though. I was gonna go Broncos, but I'm gonna try to take the 1-up game here and put 3 on the Bears.
Unfortunately, Fields hasn't been running at all.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. But this would be the week to do it.
Here's the thing: all 4 of us putting 1 point means that we think Chicago could win.
I know.
Only 1 point.
I know, but I want to take this game to try to get 1-up on y'all.
I will say. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead, Mook.
That's it. I hope it doesn't work out for Kuhn.
I mean, it's only 3 points, so it's not a big deal.
I will say, as a Fields owner, you're trapped because you can't drop him. The week you drop him, he's popping for 45.
I think this is the week that he actually does it. Sadly.
Well, if it is, then I will play him next week. Then, well, maybe I gotta see who the Bears play, but it's I'm like I can't drop him. Nobody in their right mind actually wants to trade for him. So I'm just gonna keep rocking C.J. Stroud until, hopefully until Kyler Murray comes back and I can pull him out of IR and start
My
him.
boy Murray. Can't wait for that.
I know I can't wait for that either. Shit, maybe after this week, maybe if Stroud fells me, my next QB pickup will be Josh Dobbs,
The God,
the Rocket Man.
Josh God.
Josh Dobbs.
Did everybody say who they picked? I think so.
Yep.
Alright, well,
Yes.
moving on to a game that might be more
the
exciting.
Cunard Bowl.
This is not the Cunard Bowl.
This is two teams
I
that
hate
Kuhn-
both these teams.
Yeah, this is two teams that Kuhn bets against a lot.
Yeah, I hate it. I hate that I have to pick one of them with. And I have to pick them with high confidence this week too. That's what I hate even more. It's Baltimore at Cleveland in Cleveland. The dog pound, even though they have an elf fur logo, because that makes sense. I can't start this one. I just can't.
I'll start it. I got you, brother. I got 4 on the Brownies. Yeah, I like Baltimore. I like Lamar, but they're banged up. Odell ain't playing. Their backs are out, and that Cleveland defense is nasty. That Cleveland defense is a top 3 defense in the NFL. And why they did lose, as me and Kuhn correctly predicted, to the Steelers.
Oh, for
on Monday
sure.
night. Yeah, we knew they weren't winning that game. That's a game Cleveland never wins. I don't think this Cleveland team's necessarily bad. They just got done blowing out Mike Vrabel and the Titans. They won in week 1, so I mean, this Cleveland team is kind of legit. I'm sure they'll find a way to shoot themselves in the foot, but playing a banged up Baltimore team, with as nasty as that defense is, they can still run the ball really well. They still have Amari Cooper. Like, they have the pieces. And, aside from losing Nick Chubb, which is a huge loss, they're, for the most part, as far as I know, healthy. So I got 4 on the Brownies to, play enough defense, stop Lamar enough that they get the dub here.
I hate this so much. I have
Aaron,
way
Aaron's
too
got-
many
I mean, I'm
fucking
with
points
you.
on this game.
Oh, you
But
got
I-
exactly like 4 and everything?
Aaron? You good there?
What, you talking to me?
Yeah,
I
he,
thought Kuhn
You
was
said
talking
I'm
first.
with you. I was like, you with me like 4 points and
Confidence.
everything?
Yeah, 4-point confidence in the Browns.
Great
I
minds
just
think
feel
alike. The
that
connection.
defense is playing different ball this year.
I'm
And
depressed.
Watson ain't gonna be doing his stuff because he's not good at anything. But that defense
Yeah,
is
he
very
has one
scary. I
talent.
just don't see.
I mean, Watson
Watson's
scares
garbage.
me, but it's not like Baltimore's defense is a world beater, which is weird to say about the Ravens, but they did just, lose to Gardner Minshew, who kind of dink and dunked them down the field all last week.
I unfortunately had the dishonor of putting 10 points on the Cleveland Browns. Yeah, I don't want to talk about it.
Okay, I'll go next then. I put 2 on the Browns. I mean, I could see it being a close game. That's why I put low confidence. But I've been on the Browns train all year, and I'm gonna continue to ride the Browns train. That's really all I had to say for this week. I don't have.
You're gonna ride the
anything
Browns train until it becomes a brown stain, baby.
Agent is putting 5 on the Ravens.
My boy Pooper Cooper is my favorite Browns player, so.
There's
All
not
right,
many
we can
players
move
you can
on.
name on that roster. Moving on, we got the Cincinnati Bengals versus the Tennessee Titans in Tennessee. I can start this one. I'm perfectly fine saying I have 13 on the Bengals. Tennessee looks like a shit show. That's all.
Yeah, I got 14 on the Bengals. Here's the thing. I picked their. This is my survivor pick, and I picked up their defense. I still think that offense is working through some things. Like Burrow's working through that injury. I honestly think they should sit him. But I mean, he got Jamar Chase involved last week. They still have Mixon there. The O line looks like it's starting to hold, and that D line they lined up sacks last week against the Rams team that had protected Stafford most of this season. He had been sacked once before that game. That man looked like he was dying Monday night. And it is a short week. That does scare me, but I just don't know where the offense comes from Tennessee, especially if Cincinnati's about to be them dogs back there pressuring him. Like, Derrick Henry hasn't looked like Derrick Henry yet. They look like they're having trouble facilitating any sort of offense. So I'll ride 14 on the Cincinnati Bengals
Let's put
to
it this way.
remain that.
This
I've
is
got
the
9
one
on the Bengals.
quarterback who has not used D-Hop to D-Hop's potential.
And it's
It's
weird to
Ryan
be fit.
Tannehill.
Yeah, and D-Hop's played
weird.
with worse quarterbacks. That's what I'm saying. This is the
He's
one
played with Davis
quarterback
Mills.
who has
He
never
ain't
used his
played with no
potential.
Tannehill.
It feels weird to be fading Vrabel so hard because, like, it's kind of like when they played the Chargers. I was like, man, they won that game because Vrabel just Kurt circled around Staley. But you're not gonna have that big of coaching advantage against Zach Taylor. I think the jury was out on him for a while, but after going to a Super Bowl, I don't think he's a better coach than Vrabel, but
He has a
he's gonna
better
have that
roster.
Bengals team. Yeah, he has a better roster. He's gonna have that team ready to play. So I got 14 on the Bengals.
I hate that I went high on the Bengals because I don't think they're awake yet. But I put 12 on the Bengals. I think that they'll come in and win. Like y'all said, Tennessee's looked like poop and doo doo. I think it's gonna be a cool game, but I hate to put 12 on it.
I was gonna say, so you're telling me that Tennessee is awake?
No.
Asian put 11 on this. On Cincy.
Cincinnati, on the Cincinnati Bengals.
I just think even with a sleepy Bengals team, they look better than the Tennessee Titans.
Fair enough.
He goes meow, as one god would say.
Next we got the Los Angeles Rams going to Indy
Against the Titans.
Wait, what's up?
I said against the Titans.
Did I say it
No,
wrong?
no, I was fucking.
Okay.
No, it's the Colts.
You had me. I thought I messed up. Does anybody want to start? All right, I'll take it then. I got 3 on Indy. I mean, originally I had 3 thinking Minshew was playing, but I think Richardson's gonna be back. Yeah, this Colts team is an interesting one. Y'all know I think the Rams are better than they thought they were gonna be, but Stafford has been making mistakes. He's been turning the ball over, and I think this is a game. I only have 3 points on it because there's a world where the Rams come in and just score a lot. But
let's hope that happens.
I think that this Colts defense is in. Huh?
Let's hope that happens. Thank God.
Yeah, I think that Colts defense is in a good spot where if they get a few turnovers and give Richardson the chance, their run game has been really good, and I see no reason why they're at home. So I see no reason why I don't think the Colts can put up enough points to win and be a little bit of a surprising team this year. So I got 3 on the Indianapolis Colts.
So if Anthony plays, I might take the Colts.
He's playing. He's ready to go. I just
But
looked
then
it
I'm
up.
kind of worried because I'm like, Aaron Donald was the 4th. And he could single-handedly win that game. So I'm going to take 3 with the Rams.
It says good to go Sunday, that he cleared the concussion protocol and will start Sunday's game against the Rams.
I'll take 3 on the Colts.
What did the Asian take?
And then Asian's got 7 on the Rams.
I have 11 on the Rams. I don't have much. I mean, I think the Rams should win this.
I don't like that I went high, but I got 11 on the Colts. I think the Colts
Gee!
are a legit, and they got that dog in them. um, yeah, no, I kind of been fading the Colts, and it's been biting me in the ass. And just the way my points fell, I wanted to take the Colts over the Rams. I just didn't want to put 11 on them. And that's pretty much all I got to add. I don't want to really go into the teams that much.
Oh god. Well, moving on. I'll let you introduce this one, Caleb.
Oh, you're gonna let me do this?
I'll let you do this one.
Oh, it's the Tampa Bakers going into New Orleans. It looks like Carr may not miss any time. Reports are saying he was looking sharp throwing downfield. Now that being said, y'all know I only had the Saints winning 6 games this year, so I got 7 on the Tampa Bakers. The Saints have a damn good defense, but that offense has not been shown to be able to do anything. And I don't think that we have anyone on that team that can cover Mike Evans. I mean, yes, Lattimore is amazing. Lattimore is also way shorter than Mike Evans. You've been seeing them, use Mike Evans all year. Now,
Thank
that
God.
being said, I don't think it's a good week for Rachaad White or anything, but I think after getting embarrassed on Monday night, Tampa's going to come out and they're going to look pretty good in New Orleans. Like I said, we may have the worst head coach in the NFL, and it's very hard to pick the Saints to win games because you just seen it. Jameis led it, and we missed the field goal, but we blew a 17-point lead last week. Like, I don't really got a good vibe on this Saints team. I want the Saints to win, but from a smart pick, I feel like Tampa's the smart play here, so I got 7 on my boy Baker by God Mayfield.
I'll go next. I have 8 on the Saints. Alvin Kamara is going to be back. I expect him to rejuvenate some life into that offense. Whether Carr or Jameis Winston plays is neither here or there to me. I think both of them are kind of the same caliber. I think that you're going to get about the same thing out of either one. That Saints defense is why I'm picking the Saints, because that Saints defense is nasty. Evan's going to get his. This is going to happen. But we saw what the Eagles D-line did to the Bucs last week. I'm not saying the Saints for the Eagles D-line, but they're up there. They are on a crazy streak right now. And they're going to get pressure on Baker this week. It's going to happen. So I'm willing to bet with the Saints defense and Alvin coming back that they can get something going and win this game at home, especially because New Orleans is one of the hardest places to play.
Those fans are loud even when we suck.
Kuhn pretty much covered everything I wanted to talk about with the Saints and Tampa. I got 10 on the Saints. The only thing I would add is that Baker's ass, and that's it.
Dude, I'll say me and Kuhn watched that Monday Nighter. Dude, Baker had no time to throw. Philly was just in his grill.
Yup.
Asian put 8 on the Saints, and I put 2.
Damn. Well, y'all better hope that Dennis Allen pulls through for y'all.
I'm hoping that your defense pulls through,
yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, you better hope that Dennis Allen pulls through.
Oh, and Kamara.
Yeah, and Kamara.
Yeah, I think we're going to end up easing Kamara back into the offense.
You think Dennis Allen's going to ease him back in? Nah, he's going to run him into the ground.
He might run him into the
He's like,
ground.
oh, look, a new toy. Boom. Oh, it broke, man.
Yeah, that might be what happens. Look, there's a reason that Dennis Allen is like 18-40 in his career.
Oh, man. But yeah. That one, honestly, that was an interesting one.
Yeah, no, I feel like that game may go to deciding a lot of the NFC South. Because like the South is a 3-team race between New Orleans, Tampa, and Atlanta.
Speaking of interesting, we have the least interesting game ever. This next game. The 16-point... No, this is the 16-point game that everybody is going to agree on, I imagine. We got Washington Commanders going into Philadelphia against the Eagles. I have 16 on the Eagles.
I only have 12 on the Eagles. I don't know. I think Philly wins. I think this is a terrible matchup with we were just talking about how Sam Howell gets sacked earlier. All that being said, Washington was the team that ended the undefeated streak last year of the Eagles. It's a division game, so it's always scary, so it keeps me from putting 16 on it, but I do have 12 on Philly winning in Philly. I don't feel like it should be a scary game at all, but that being said, I'm waiting for that week where Philly looks truly dominant on offense. They've looked truly dominant on defense, but like I said, the remaining 4 confidence points is just division game and anything can happen. So
I'll keep it short and sweet. I got 13 on the Eagles. I feel like the Eagles could lose this game, but most likely won't. And I'll leave it at that.
All right, Aaron, take the floor and tell us about how the Washington Commanders are gonna win.
Yeah, I'm taking 16 on the Commanders here. So I just liked what I've seen from Philly so far this year. So they look really bad.
Yeah, I agree.
I'm just kidding. I took 12 on Philly.
hey, great
So they may
minds
have
think alike again.
snapped them, but I mean, a little bit I'm scared. But Philly, they're going to get around. They're going to be the second most dominant team in the NFC. So,
Who's the first?
San Fran?
40.
huh? 49ers, come on, are you dumb?
Yeah.
I thought you were gonna say Detroit. I was testing.
No, we're above the Niners. We're at 0 because we're the heroes.
Oh yeah.
I mean, Detroit's the frisky team this year. It's like Detroit's gonna be that team in the playoffs that no one wants to see, especially if they get a home game.
Oh yeah.
What did Asian put on this game?
He put 14, 15. Hold on. I think he put 14. Yeah, 14 on the Eagles.
All right. Hey yo, I'll lead off on this game.
Yeah, go ahead.
All right, so we got the Minnesota Vikings going to the Carolina Panthers. Battle of 0-3s. I got 5 on Minnesota. Originally, I had 1 on Carolina. That one was for the Andy Dalton, but he's not playing. It looks like Young's playing, and I don't think that offense is going to run well under Young. Like, I know the Vikings defense is very ass, but I just don't think they're going to be able to keep up with Addison and JJ. And, I think, honestly, sadly enough, this might end up being the shooter game of the week. But I got 5 on Minnesota to get their first victory. Yeah, I just think that this Carolina team is a big project. This was my upset of the week till I seen that Bryce Young was starting. I didn't even ask Pluto how we felt about the Vikings. He said 16 on the Panthers. But I didn't even ask him how he was feeling because originally I was going to pick the Panthers until I seen that, Andy Dalton wasn't starting. And while I don't think Dalton's great, I think that he was competent enough to pick apart a Vikings defense that hasn't looked good, especially because they let him throw 58 times last week.
Wait, the Vikings have a defense?
Sometimes it would fool you, but I have 5 on the Vikings. I think they're going to be too much of an offense for Carolina to keep up with those points. And like I said, I think that Young's going to go through a lot of growing pains, including here.
Oh man, yeah. Everson Griffin, the end for the Vikings.
Yes.
You know how he's slow. How he's slow. He's one of the guys playing linebacker right now. Just so you guys know, that's the state of the Minnesota Vikings defense. I just want you guys to know that. Little fun fact about that. But I got 7 on the Vikings. I was more scared when Andy Dalton was gonna play, but Bryce Young's come in. It's not a shot at Young. Young is just inexperienced and a rookie. I do still think he's probably gonna have a second year blow up, but he needs to get time under his belt. He needs to learn at the NFL. But as for this year, I don't like it at
You
all.
said it about as well as I could.
I don't like putting stuff on the Vikings because of the goddamn Vikings, but they're not 0-16 team, and they're gonna get a win here somewhere, and this is probably where they're gonna get
That's a
it.
good start. I put 6 on the Vikings, and that's what I gotta say about this game. It's 2 mediocre teams, 1 shit team and a mediocre team.
Well, can I just say before Moot goes, the Vikings were 11-0 in one-score games last year, and this year they're 0-3 in one-score games. The point being, they're still ending up in one-score games. I don't think Carolina can keep up with them to keep it a one-score game.
Now, if
I
Andy
bet the
Dalton was
Falcons kicked their
playing,
3-0.
Now, I will say the one factor that does come into this, Thielen revenge game.
So I put 4 in this game. I put 4 in the Panthers. To me, the Vikings are the Chargers of the NFC. They find a way to play down or play up to their opponent. That's just my opinion. And just like not just like last year, but last year you brought it up that they were 11-1 in close games. Well, I think it's going to be the opposite this year. I think they're going to be 1-11 in close games, somehow completely 180 it. And with that, I'm going with the Panthers by 4.
So
I
you
wish Dalton
believe?
was,
Oh, go ahead.
but, they're still going to win regardless.
You believe in the Thielen revenge game?
Oh,
Asian
for sure.
put 10 on the Vikings.
I mean,
Well, next we got. Does anybody got anything else they want to say?
no.
Nope.
All right. Next we got Pittsburgh going to the frisky Houston Texans. What
Texans
as the Steelers fan, what did Asian put on this game?
Asian put 4 on the Steelers, and honestly, I can't blame them. Look what the
As
Texans just did to Minnesota.
as the co-Steelers fan, as
Yeah,
the
I
Mike
mean,
Tomlin fan, I'll go next.
yeah.
I also got 4 on the Steelers because you know who's their coach still? Mike fucking Tomlin, and you know who's the quarterback for the Texans? A fucking rookie. I think Tomlin's gonna expose them. That's it. I do think he's a good quarterback. I think Thomas is gonna give him some rookie pains this week.
He finally throw his first interception this week.
Yeah, I think he's throwing his first interception this week.
To Pat Pete.
Oh, I would hope so. That's the ideal. That's the dream come true.
Stroud has looked amazing through 3 weeks.
Yes, he
I
has.
mean, I think if he gets the ball off early and the Texans don't allow TJ Watt to be a factor, I think they got a better shot at winning. But there's not really been a team to stop that man, TJ Watt. So he's just going to be such a factor, and that's why I have 5 on Pitt.
Y'all make me feel like I've overhyped Pitt.
Also,
I got 9 on the Steelers.
Oh god.
Yeah, I got 9 on the Steelers. It's Tomlin. It's a rookie quarterback. It's that defense, and I know Mook is down on the Steelers, but I've just come to accept that Mike Tomlin wins over 50% of his games, and that defense, it's not going to look pretty when the Steelers win, but that's how they're going to win games. And now, sadly, as you know, a Stroud guy, that's who I'm starting this week is CJ Stroud. He's looked phenomenal though. He don't make the wrong decisions. So I think it is also very possible that he just kind of has a tame game, and Pittsburgh just kind
He's
of
a lot
locks him
better
up a
than
little bit.
Bryce.
And I'll say this: people are giving the Pittsburgh offense shit, but it's like the first 2 weeks of the season they played San Fran and Cleveland. Name like 2 better defenses to play back to back than that. Like Of course they didn't look good offensively. They played 2 of the top 5 defenses in the league. They looked a lot better last week when they got to play,
The Raiders.
Huh?
The Raiders.
Yeah, when they got to play, whatever's
I mean,
going on in the
Najee Harris needs to pick it up for that offense.
Najee's. I think
They need
Najee's
to-
done.
they need to play Jalen Warren. Dude,
Najee's just not showing
Dude,
anything
he's-
right now, and it's bad.
Najee's ripped, but it's like it takes 2 or 3 guys to take him down, but those 2 or 3 guys get on him in 2 yards. It's like the man just takes a brisk walk when he's handed the ball. But they looked a lot better against, a lowly Raiders defense compared to playing San Fran and Cleveland. I think Houston's probably in between, those two and the Raiders, but I got 9 on the Steelers. It just feels like a game that the Steelers win. It's probably not going to be pretty, but I think
you give Houston 2 more years, and that defense is going to be something. I mean, they got 1 or 2 young studs at corner. They got the pass rusher who's really well. I mean, they got a young team, and if they can actually put something together, they can maybe beat somebody. But they definitely picked the right quarterback out of the 2.
I think Houston is making all the right steps. You got Stroud there. Tank Dell looks like a monster.
Robert Woods is resurged as an option
Yeah.
too.
Well, yeah,
Well, I mean,
Nico still looks good. Like Nico still looks good. Damian Pierce looks good. There's a lot to like in Houston. It's just Pittsburgh's one of those teams that
Pittsburgh is they're a
gonna
grindy team.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's one of those teams that it's gonna be some growing pains, and I
if you make a
I
mistake,
think that Pittsburgh defense is gonna dial up a lot of clever schemes, and that's why I got 9 on the Steelers. I just think this.
Yeah, they're gonna disguise a lot of stuff and really confuse the young quarterback for sure into making some mistakes.
I think Houston could win this game. I just don't think it's likely. I think this is a game where they're gonna make Stroud earn it if he wins.
I did not think in 2023 I was going to be using Robert Woods in fantasy football to get 10 points for 2 straight weeks.
That's because they really don't got anything else. I mean,
what do you mean? Tank Dell's been a monster.
Well, yeah, I know that, but he's a rookie, so you didn't really know if he was going to come out and be somebody. You already knew Robert Woods had kind of been somebody's all I'm saying.
Yeah, but no, I knew Robert Woods was a wank also last season, so that's why I was like, what the fuck?
You gotta think he played in that joke that was Tennessee last season.
Yeah. And D-Hop,
I'll say this, if I at the beginning of the year, if I was to draft a Houston receiver, it would have been Nico.
Same.
But I'm happy getting Tank Dell off back-to-back 25-point performances. That makes you do a little dance as a fantasy manager. But yeah, 9 on the Steelers. Take us away, Mook. Tell us why we're wrong and Houston's gonna win this game.
Wish I could go lower, but I put 8 on the Texans. I think the Steelers are one of the worst teams in the NFL. The only reason they won is because their defense. They do have a saying, defense wins championships, and that is true. They should have lost to the fucking Browns 2 weeks ago, but the Browns shot themselves in the foot. And the Raiders are just ass.
Which,
I probably
how many L's are you gonna take to Mike Tomlin this year?
It might be all 15 because I had him against the Niners too. But damn it, I think the Texans are not that bad of a team this year, and I think they're gonna come away with the win. The only thing that scares me is defense, but I think there are 32 offenses because there are, and I think Pittsburgh is the 31st, right under or right above. Yes, thank you. Right above the Bears. All right. I think their offense is so fucking god awful. That's the only reason I feel like their defense has put up more points than their offense. That's how sorry their fucking offense is. Oh man, I think their offense is gonna end up costing them. So I got 8 on the Texans.
So after this week, all 4 of us will send Mike Tomlin gifts now.
Mook, I think you're putting too much clout against the fact that they played 2 really good defense at the beginning of the year. And as far as the Cleveland game goes, me and Cood tried to warn all of you that the Browns just don't win at Pittsburgh.
Yeah, no.
The Browns look like the better team. They just don't beat the Steelers in Pittsburgh, especially on primetime.
Man,
I pulled up the record, everything for you.
Yeah, like we tried to stop you. We tried to stop you from making that pick, and you still.
And I
failed,
tried to
so
stop you
that's
from
on
doing the
you.
Raiders also. That was awful.
And I feel
Yeah,
like
I just pitched to give you a reason to post the Mike Tomlin gift.
And I'm gonna try to stop you from taking the Texans this week also, because you realize when you look at the Steelers' schedule, they're going to end at least 8-8. Who's are they going to get those 8 wins against? The Texans are going to have to be one of them.
This is
like
the first time for everything, and this is the time it
No,
happens.
Tomlin's never going to have a losing record, man. It's not possible.
I'll be real with you. If you want to get truthful about the Steelers, I think they're a top 10 defense, some weeks a top 5 defense, and probably between a 15 and 20 offense. That is where I have Pittsburgh back.
You said between a 30 and 32 offense wrong.
Like I said, I think you're putting way too much clout in the fact they played San Fran and Cleveland the first 2 weeks.
Anyway, that's enough about these teams. They don't deserve that much love.
That is true.
We got the Las Vegas Raiders going to LA against the Chargers. I'll start off. I guess I got 9 on the Chargers. Didn't want to go high on the Chargers, never do. But it's the Raiders and they're dog shit. And also, there's just so much off the field bullshit going on with the Raiders right now that there's just no way that there's no way they can focus on football. Like how are you able to focus on football when you have all this bullshit going on in your organization? So I just think we're gonna see another common Las Vegas L by the Raiders. So
yep. So Asian put 12 on the Chargers, and I put 11.
Yeah,
and you pretty much summed it up. Oakland's garbage. Chargers are starting to find their way offensively. So.
And there's like that whole Chandler Jones situation. I don't know what's going on, but I hope that he is okay. I heard it was like mental health issues.
Bro. DT.
It's a fucked up scenario.
I have 13 on the Chargers. I never feel good about putting points on Brandon Staley because, you know, like, it's the Chargers. They just blew a game to the Titans. Like, I think there's a world where, Jimmy G throws 4 or 5 TDs to Devontae Adams and the 2. I forget who the 2 is, but he was really good week 1.
Well, if Joe Staley has to say, that's the world we're gonna live in.
and there's also a world where they just hand the ball to the running back the whole time, and I forgot his name.
Josh Jacobs.
Yeah, there's a world where they just hand it to Jacobs and he busts off for like 200. But I'm gonna give the Chargers the benefit of the doubt that even Brandon Staley will not, let Vegas score 35 with them this week. And so I got 13 on the Chargers. I never feel good about going big on Staley, but that's where I'm at.
I put 9 on the Chargers. Raiders ass. The only thing that scares me is Chargers either play up or down to their opponent. And I just hope they don't play down this week.
Well, if the Raiders win this game, it's a shooter game, Mook, because since Kellen Moore's joined that offense, they haven't scored below 30, I don't think. It's Staley on his side of the ball giving up 30 every week.
Like a god.
Last week.
What? I have to say one nice thing to Joe Staley. He is a very nice and generous person for giving us fantasy managers a reason to play players against this team.
Well, I'll say this: there's 0% chance I would bench Adams after he put up 40 last week.
Yeah, no. I wouldn't. There's 0% chance I'd ever bench Adams.
Yeah, same. But I'm saying, say what you want about Pittsburgh and their defense, but Jimmy G knows how to find his main target, and that was his main move last week. Was I'm just gonna throw it to Adams like 20 times.
Good move.
It's a very great move.
Murray did that with D-Hop. It works wonders. Did Aaron go?
It's time.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, him an Asian. He gave his an Asian number.
Alright, moving on. I'll let you introduce us, Move.
The Patriots are going to the Cowboys at the Cowboys' home. I put 7 on the Cowboys. That's it.
Damn, that's it.
Yo, can I go?
Yeah, you can go.
I got 3 words for you, Mook. Zeke revenge game. Give me 2 on McCorkle and the Patriots. Yeah, Dallas had their F game last week. I think Bill Belichick's gonna play smart. I think this is a game that Dak could easily lose the Cowboys, and yeah, I'm calling a Zeke TD this week. The Zeke revenge game. Now, as a Stevenson owner, that pains me to say, because anytime that man waddles out onto the touchdown, onto the field to take my goal line snaps away, it makes me sad, but I got 2, and then, seeming that I switched off the Panthers, this is my upset of the week, 2 on the New England Patriots.
I need to look something up before I continue. So, Aaron, you can go.
Well, I'm really torn between this game. I know how good
Zeke
Belichick is, and you
revenge
got 3 of your
game.
5 starting alignment out. You drop Diggs, then you lose to Arizona. I mean, Parsons he looked silly out there against Arizona.
Dobbs
So I
did
really
poop on that
don't.
man.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like the Cowboys get punched and stay down, but I have 8 on the Cowboys, hoping they bounce back and don't fuck me again.
What about Asian?
Well, Asian put 13 on the Cowboys because he's real confident
Well, boys.
and partially retarded.
Well, boys. I also am on the New England train. I got 2 on the New England Patriots. I mean, fucking Mike McCarthy just got outcoached by a first-year coach. They're potentially missing their whole offensive line pretty much. Still. And they're potentially missing their corner still. You're telling me there's not a good chance that one of the best head coaches ever can take advantage of that? You're crazy. I watched James Conner run for good yardage against that Cowboys defense last week. I can see Stevenson and Elliott do that this week. I think Dak might lose them this game because Dak. I've been trying to defend Dak a lot lately, but oh my god, when he threw that end zone pick that could kept them in the game, bro. That showed me a lot.
Into the end zone, leave him alone.
He bombed it at our linebacker. God linebacker, by the way. I just think that it's very possible Dallas drops another game in a row. I don't think this is going to be a reoccurring theme throughout their season, but I think that they might drop 2 games in a row and then be like, alright, we gotta get our heads together. And then they start to win games again.
Start to get healthy.
Yeah. But I the lineman, that scares me.
New England on this. So I really think I was going back and forth, and I think I'm going to finalize with the Patriots.
Damn, I convinced Aaron to join
us. Well, I mean, I was thinking that, and that's why you're like, go, and I'm like, fuck you, because I'm not ready.
Oh, no, me and Kuhn had it picked. I sent Kuhn a picture that had the 2 with the Patriots, and I was like, here's a spoiler for this week, Kuhn.
Yep.
Yeah, so I'm going to go with Patriots. I'm going to switch my pick.
I was like, here's a spoiler for this week. Zeke revenge game.
I was like, oh,
and
same.
So to Kuhn's.
Oh, yes. We got Arizona Cardinals.
Whoa. Pluto says Mook takes L's part 2. While we're talking about the Cowboys, go ahead and take your victory lap.
Oh, yes. It was great. Last week was amazing. I beat Mook in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Beat his ass in Dynasty Fantasy Football. Like, really obliterated that ass in the Dynasty League. Like, #1 scorer on dunking on his ass. Like, I'm Shaq and he's Jeremy Lin.
You had 2 players together put up 70 alone.
Yeah, as I was saying, dunked on that ass. Absolutely put my nuts in his face.
God damn it.
And then,
And I'll beat your ass
and
in playoffs.
then, on top of that, I get to watch my team put their nuts in his face. Joshua Dobbs, the Rocket Man, as I like to call him.
Rocket Man.
Rock, man.
Fucking
He-
Cowboys it all the way around.
He he shit on Micah Parsons for one play. I saw it. I was joking that he was gonna do it, but he definitely just shit on Micah Parsons for a play. And I was laughing my ass off when I saw it. But like, I don't know. It was a great week to be a fan of the Cardinals. It was a great week to be playing Mook in two leagues. He did get one win. It wasn't Mook Takes L's week completed, but he did take 2 out of 3.
You know, that's only because of Stafford not knowing how to hit Kyron.
Yeah, but
And Evans dropping a pass, because you were very much in that game Monday night.
I was. That was but no, it was fun. It was fun to watch my Cardinals. I think I hated on them a bit too much. I'm not gonna get super hype on my Cardinals because I know they're not going to do that every week. But Gannon, maybe I need to let you cook a little bit. That's all I'll say. Also, we gotta see my boy Michael Wilson catch a touchdown, which was badass. I was happy to see that. And we did that without 3 of our starting defensive linemen, without Buda Baker, and without one of our other linebackers. That's impressive.
Is Buddha injured or is he holding out?
He was injured.
Okay.
I think he still is. Now, I'm going to continue to ride this high and take my Cardinals with 1 point again against San Fran in San Fran. It's a dumbass decision, but I do think we're splitting the series with them. I just think this isn't the game we're going to do it. I think that we'll do it at our home. But I'm taking Arizona anyway, so I can just be happy that I took my team in case they win.
So
Um,
I'm putting 14 on the Niners. It's not even going to be close. It's just going to be a shit show. Like, y'all beat a very beat up Cowboys team who is very famous for allowing the bottom 3 teams to beat them at any given day.
We also were very beat up
So-
when we did it, though, which is why I'm impressed by it.
Right, but I mean, now we talk about a very dominant NFC team who is doing whatever they want to whoever they want, and it's not going to stop now.
I don't know, man. Maybe Arizona's role in this year is to be the F game for every team.
I mean, what happened was the NFL allowed you guys to be happy for a week for beating the Cowboys, and then just to kind of help you guys out so you don't commit suicide after this ass whooping you're about to take.
Well, as long as we don't get 70 dropped on us, I'll be fine.
Uh,
Yeah?
I thought Aaron was gonna say something.
Nope, go ahead, brother.
So Pluto says you've made his week. He was waiting on that victory lap all week. He also asked if we seen the video that Dobbs posted, which I have not seen any video that Dobbs posted.
Which video?
You have? Yeah, I don't know.
I'll go look for
I've
it.
seen the video. I'm pretty sure.
He's a god.
YouTube.com. I'll watch
Scrolling.
this after. I'll hold on. Let's.
Agent put 16 on San Fran, by the way.
Okay, that's hilarious.
What's the video?
It's a video where it's an 8-second video where Micah Parsons says, "Josh Dobbs, I'm throwing darts at him," and then it flips over to Josh Dobbs looking like he's doing this number like he's dodging darts.
What a god.
Yeah, that is the one I've seen. It was hilarious. I've seen that on TikTok.
It's amazing.
I love him. I love him, man.
I have 10 on San Fran. Look, I think Arizona's a better team than we've given them credit for. They've been in every single game they played. I watched it, Pluto. That was peak comedy. They've been in every single game they played. That being said, San Fran is the cream of the crop of the NFC. I mean, I only have 10 on it because, that's me showing Arizona respect to not put 15-16 on this game. Uh, I feel like there is a world where Arizona comes out and keeps putting up. God, San Fran's 14-point favorites. I feel like that's just plain disrespectful. I don't know if they cover that
I think it's
14.
gonna be a close game no matter what. We
Yeah,
typically are
you
close games.
division games always run a bit different, but Arizona has been dropping 25 a game.
Something like that.
I know this is probably the best defense they've played. I have 10 on the Niners. I think they win, but this Arizona team's been frisky. They beat Dallas. They kept up with the the Giants.
Well, we
You know, they
let
played
the
the Manders
we
good.
let the Manders and the Giants beat us. If we're
Yeah,
being real here,
drop
we
some
didn't
fourth
keep
quarter
up.
leads.
We just choked like Brandon Staley.
Y'all blew the Giants out, and then they came back in a game that they probably shouldn't have came back. They choked. And so this Arizona team's been dropping points. I think they're frisky. Don't think that they beat Purdy and company, who, Purdy's a consistent 302, but I'm putting a little bit of respect on Arizona's name.
Brock
I
is
still
a
got 10.
dog.
I still got 10 on San Fran, but like I said, I feel like the average confidence on this game is 14, and I just can't bring myself to go that high with what I've seen out of Arizona. So 10 on the San Francisco 49ers.
And here comes Mookie.
I put 15 on the Niners. That's all I want to say.
You don't want to talk about how awe-inspiring Joshua Dobbs was last week?
What he really wanted to say is he put 15 on the Niners because Arizona is one of the worst dog shit teams we've seen in years.
I don't
That's what he
think.
really
I mean,
wanted
you
to say.
could say that, but it would be false because the Bears exist.
I mean, at
No,
this point, I
I-
thought we sold the Bears to an AFL league. I didn't know they were still part of the NFL. So I thought
Yeah,
they were
no.
gone.
So they definitely still in the
okay, the
NFL.
second worst team.
I mean, the
actually
Vikings are still in the league also.
I actually don't
Wait, ignore
Cardinals
that.
are all that bad. I think the Cardinals should have won week 2 and should have lost week 3, but that's not what happened.
I think they should have won both weeks.
Dallas just dropped the ball completely, so there's nothing I want to talk about in that game. It was shit watching, and it was shit coming back to.
Mook, did you yell during the game?
No, after.
I know you were
Probably
watching it
silent.
with the lady.
Let's put it this way. Mook said,
Ooh.
I'm muting this chat until...
Yeah, in the first quarter, Mook said,
Yeah.
I'm muting this till either the Cowboys have a lead or till the next day. And we've seen one
was the
message
next
from
day.
Mook the rest of the night. He came in and said that game was effing ass. And then we didn't hear from him the rest of the night.
You know what he came back to? James Conner winking at him.
I ignored that.
That shit's amazing.
That is
That's just a
That is
top tier
All right, so the
gift.
next game is the Chiefs at the Jets.
I mean, I'll go last
I
because I
mean-
want to get on a little rant here.
I don't have any
I'll
rant
go
to go
first.
on. I'll let Mook go.
I put 16 on the Chiefs. Jets ass. The only thing they have is the defense, and if Zach Wilson's still playing, then I don't think they got much of an offense either. So 16 on the Kansas City Chiefs.
Yeah, I got 15 on the Chiefs. There's not much to say about the Jets. They have options at quarterback they could go out and pursue everywhere if they wanted to even try to put life in that team. But they just don't want to, so that's it.
It's Zach Wilson's team.
It's not.
Well,
It's definitely a team.
I'm gonna get into this when it's my turn.
Aaron.
all right. Well, Asian, he put 16 on the Chiefs. Oh no, I lied. Hold on, sorry. I put 16 on the Chiefs. He put 15. Chiefs are gonna annihilate. I mean, Travis is getting his dick wet by Taylor. Mahomes is Mahomes. I mean, that defense is looking like one of their best defenses since Mahomes taking over, there's just no way. I mean, Zach Wilson can't even be considered an actual quarterback. So
Somehow he
that Jets
is.
defense
Somehow he
nice.
is.
So I will say that Jets defense is nice, but Mahomes don't really give a shit. That's all I'm gonna say. You'd never bet against Brady, and you're definitely not betting against Mahomes.
Oh, and my score is 28-7.
Oh yeah,
Chiefs.
my score is 99-1. Somehow they're
Can
gonna
you-
score 1 point.
35-6 is Asian, and I gave them a little benefit of doubt because Dalvin and Hall, but I
Nope.
put it 48-17.
No benefit, no doubt, bitch.
Okay. So is it my turn?
It's your
Yep.
turn. You go for it,
I
brother.
put 16 on the Chiefs. Let's get this out of the way first. The final is 69-3 Kansas City. KC has the most points this week. The Jets have the fewest points. Can we just talk for a minute about the Jets not bringing in any insurance policy for Aaron Rodgers at all? Literally, when he went down. Now they brought in Trevor Siemian this week, which can't be any worse than Zach Wilson. But they had Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle. Do y'all know who? Aaron obviously probably knows who Tim
I
Boyle
know
is.
who
Do
that
either of y'all
fucking wank
two
is also, don't
know
worry.
who Tim Boyle is?
He's awful.
I do.
Not really,
Can-
but ain't like 97.
This man played 3 years in college, Mook. Can you guess what his stats were in those 3 years in college?
I cannot.
This man threw 1 touchdown and 13 interceptions.
And it's on an NFL team, by the way. Don't let your dreams be dreams, guys.
It says he played for
He
Eastern
sucked a lot of dick
Eastern
to get where he is.
Kentucky, where he threw 11 and 13. This man has thrown 108 passes in the NFL. I want to make sure I'm getting that right. Yeah. Can you guess how many? Can you guess his TD to interception ratio?
I mean, I don't know if I want to guess if it's worse than college or not.
He threw 94 attempts for the Detroit Lions in 2021. That was most of them.
1 in 15 touchdown to interception
You're
ratio.
close. 3 TDs, 8 interceptions. And this was their backup to Zach Wilson. So when the Jets literally say he's our best chance to win, that's because he's literally their best chance to win. So apparently this man went on the ayahuasca trip with Aaron Rodgers, so he's buddies with Aaron Rodgers. I just don't know where to start with the Jets. You've brought in Alan Lazard, but I actually think that's a pretty good bring in. He's still a young receiver. Sky's still the limit. But you've brought in old man Randall Cobb. You've brought in this backup quarterback. Like, you brought in Simeon, who I imagine will be starting at some point. Like, it's like the Jets basically said, hey, if Rodgers goes down, we're fucked anyways, so let's just not, let's just not even worry about getting a competent backup. This team could have re-signed Mike White, we have 15 million yet. We'll give 8 of that to Dalvin, and then we'll just not do anything crazy with the rest of it. They could have brought back Mike White. That wouldn't have been, a break the bank move. You let him go to Miami, which if Tua does go down, at least I know the ceiling for Mike White to throw 400 yards is there. But this is a league. This is a week where we saw Gardner Minshew beat a Ravens team. We saw Andy Dalton throw 58 times or something and throw 400 something yards. We seen Jameis come in, and albeit the Saints lost, he led a drive downfield where if the kicker makes it, they win that game. We've seen very competent backup quarterback play. They could have Wentz or Ryan. Yeah, Wentz or Ryan, I don't love them. I feel like it's scary to watch Carson Wentz play football. The Kansas City Swifties.
They could even fucking went out and got Trey Lance before he was traded.
Yeah, they could have traded for... I'm sure if they go to the Cowboys and say, look, y'all just gave up this pick we give you this pick, we give us Lance. Like, feels like there's a million different things they could have done, and it's a damn shame with how good that defense is and all the pieces they brought in that they just have a quarterback that just can't win games, and it's very blatantly obvious to see.
Can you
Like,
imagine if Trey Lance was traded for and brought into that roster? He starts for a few weeks, but Aaron Rodgers does come back. He gets to sit under Aaron Rodgers and learn from Aaron Rodgers. That's insane.
well, and I don't blame Zach Wilson for all of this because
Oh, I do.
no, it's very much the Jets didn't move him or anything last year. Like I don't think he's very great, but it's like they think hanging out with Rodgers for a month, he's just gonna like Space Jam, put his power into the football, hand it to Zach Wilson, and Zach Wilson's just gonna suck it up,
Oh, for
They're like,
sure.
oh, he sat under Rodgers for 6 weeks. He's gonna be way better. And it's like it doesn't work that way. Maybe if he got the whole season under him or something, like maybe he gets better. But it's just baffling to me that like yeah, it very much sucks that Rodgers got hurt 3 plays in to the season. But it's like you had no contingency plan at all. 0 to 69. I gave him the honor of giving him 3 points, and it's like there's guys out there you could have signed, and if it didn't work out, you wouldn't have been any less, you wouldn't have been any worse off. Like you're saying Carson Wentz. I feel like that man's scary to watch. Like he scores and stuff, but I'm always afraid that man's gonna get hurt. But yeah, Matt Ryan's out there while he might be shot. Like there were guys out there that they could have brought in to say, hey, you're just a contingency plan. And I feel like, with the Jets defense, they could have won, maybe 8, 9, 10 games and squeaked in. That's what I had them winning with Rodgers, but, you know, they're just a very, very brutal team to watch right now. And I just wanted to take a minute to just talk about how the Jets feel like they've really let this roster down by bringing in Rodgers' buddy that's somehow an NFL QB. Guess it just goes to show the people really can lend you in some spots.
Also, you mentioned
But
good backup quarterback play. We got shout out Josh Dobbs, obviously.
yeah, Josh Dobbs has looked great. Here's the thing: if the Jets had Josh Dobbs, there's a good chance they're 2-1 and maybe even 3-0 with how he's been playing.
My boy
It's
Dobbs.
just, huh?
I said, my boy Dobbs.
Yeah, it's just baffling that we're seeing backup quarterback play all around the league. Y'all even cut Colt McCoy. I think that would have even been a better option than Zach Wilson.
Call Drew Stanton back up.
It's like, or you could have started my boy Strevler. You could have kept him signed.
You know
At
what?
least
They
give
could
us
have started
Martin.
Ben DiNucci.
Well, that's the thing too. It's like the Cowboys just picked up Lance. Why not give a call and try to get Cooper Rush? I just wanted to take a minute and just talk about how the Jets have just colossally failed this, and I don't know. It just sucks to see for such a talented roster, and now they're starting to come out, and the defense is like, well, we don't like playing for. It's like, yeah, well, you have a roster. You feel like you should be winning, and you're not winning because the quarterback can't throw up. New England put up 15 points last week. Like, well, yeah, your offense isn't capable of throwing up, 15 to 20 points. And it's just unfathomable that they picked up Simeon, who I assume will start at some point, but we've seen all this good backup play, and the Jets just had no contingency plan for if Rodgers went down. You had Zach Wilson and Tim Boyle, and Zach Wilson is the better of your quarterbacks on the team, and we've seen that man play a season and a half. Like, we know how good he is, and it's there. Anyways, my rant's over. We can go to the Monday Nighter.
Oh,
I just
yeah.
wanted to bring that up because when you actually look into Tim Boyle's stats, it's mind-boggling that was the other quarterback they had on the team.
The great Monday Nighter that I have way too many points on. We have the Seattle Sea Chickens going to New York to play the New York Small Boys. I have 12 on Seattle. the Giants, I mean, they're without Saquon this week, it looks like, and they just haven't looked good. And Seattle scares me because they look okay. I don't think they've looked good, but I think they've looked okay. I think they're a middle of the pack team right now, and
I mean,
and I think that they could drop any given game. But I gave it Seattle 12 points on. I'm not happy putting 12 on this game at all, and scored 19-18. Also, my highest scoring team is Philly, and my least is Washington.
who's your least?
Washington.
Geno revenge game. I don't really know if I'd say that. I know Geno was a Giant, but I don't ever really remember him for being a Giant. I got 15 on Seattle. I like Seattle a lot. I mean, they give up a lot of points. The defense is not as proved as much as I want, but the thing is, I don't know who's gonna I don't know who's going to really score on the Giants. Like I was saying, if you needed a fantasy start, you could take a pop fly on any of the Giants receivers. I have them score 34-21, but like I said, it might just be a big Daniel Jones game. Daniel Jones has not proven to me that he's worthy of that contract he got, and Seattle's been rolling. The offense is good. They got studs on defense, but they give up a lot of points. This could be a bigger amount of a shootout than I want to think, but I'm pretty confident in Seattle. I think, they continue to roll. Metcalf, Lockett, Geno, and the boys. Kenneth Walker's been an absolute monster. And, I think it's going to be a nice TD. He's the one that replaced Eli. That was very short lived. Like I said, I remember him being the backup for the Giants, but I don't ever I don't associate Geno with the Giants like
If
I do the
anything,
Jets.
I associate him with the Jets more than any
Yeah, because that's when he actually got his opportunity. But yeah, I got the final 34-21 Seattle, and I just think, I mean, really, in a perfect world, I'd like to see Daniel Jones have a big week and Wan'Dale Robinson have a big week. But I mean, Slayton may get into the end zone or something, but that's just a hodgepodge of receivers that the Giants have, and none of them really are seeming to pop. Could just be a big Waller week as well. I do think the Giants will put up points, but I just don't think there's going to be enough points to keep up with Seattle, who's probably going to at least drop 30. So that's kind of where I'm at with this game, and I like Dayball a lot, but this Giants team looks like it's taken a step back from last year.
Anyone?
Asian put 9 on Seattle, and I put 7, with my score being 24-10. My Chiefs score, by the way, was 48-17. Asians 27-13 Seattle, and 35-6 for the Chiefs. Miami will score the most, Jets score the least, and I said San Fran will score the most, with Washington scoring the least.
What you got to close us out, Mookie? You're muted, by the way. Mookie.
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 I knew I was muted. I was testing you out. I got Seattle with 14. I think the Lions. I think the Giants are dog shit. My score is 32-17 Seahawks. I think the Seahawks will blow them out. And if you tell me no Saquon, then I really think the score will be that way. But with Saquon there, maybe they stand a chance. So,
Luke, are you playing Breida this week?
oh, I dropped his ass. 3 weeks ago.
Wait. How you gonna drop his ass and then sit there and go, I should have played that guy over Madison?
Well, you pointed out he only had 4 touches. Could you imagine if he didn't get a touchdown?
Well, yeah. If you're playing Breida, you're praying he gets into the end zone.
I wouldn't have played him over Madison. I probably would have played him over Kelly. Bum ass.
I'm just saying, you were sitting there after that game going, I should have played Brado over Madison. Then
Yeah,
Madison went off and had a decent game.
Yeah, but I could have played him over my other backs that didn't do shit.
I get that. I'm literally just saying what you said after that game.
I don't know if I name dropped Madison. I might have.
You
But-
did name drop Madison.
Man, did I say Kelly? Because I should have added Kelly in there.
Well, you were thinking Eckler because it was a Thursday nighter, so you still had Eckler in your lineup.
Yeah, that checks out.
It was the Thursday night game where they played San Fran, and he got into the end zone, and you were like, "Man, I probably should have played Breda over Madison." And you still had Eckler in because he had that Q on his name, so you didn't have Kelly in your lineup at the time.
Yeah, hey, but the man did get me 10 points on my bench. Honestly, I should have played him over that Detroit bum, Reynolds, who didn't get anything last
Dude, Reynolds
week.
popped off that week.
Oh, yeah, let me tell you.
Here's the thing, Mook. I will tell you the advice I gave you on Josh Reynolds was I like him if Amon Ra don't play. And Amon Ra played, so
He did
you're
good this
on your
week,
own at
though.
that point. He got
And
10
he's
this week.
definitely not going to be seeing as much with J-Mo coming back.
Oh,
It's
hell
going to
yeah,
be
no.
J-Mo, Amon Ra, and Khalif and Raymond will be switching off.
I feel like Reynolds is gonna be the 3 on that team.
And I
Yeah,
can't
I mean,
switch off my
Jim's
most.
6'4".
I think
Yeah,
Khalif
I
Raymond
mean-
is going to be the gadget, the Rondell Moore of Detroit.
Hey, Rondell got into the end zone last week, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
I feel like as long as they stay healthy, if you play Raymond, you're just praying he gets into the end zone.
Yep.
He's gonna be that guy you pick up on bye week that you're like, Detroit puts up a lot of points, maybe he gets into the end zone.
Well, I mean, with so many people like showing him out of the respect he deserves, and then J-Mo.
And you also got Laporta probably there, too.
Yeah, Laporta's becoming a very big target for Goff.
Oh, Mook very smartly did not trade Laporta.
You traded Laporta. Ooh.
Well, he got offered a package from Kuhn. I don't remember what the package was.
Kirk
Of course,
and
Kuhn's told him.
Kirk and someone else for Laporta.
It was Kirk, and it was either Akers or Baychain,
Akers.
one of the two.
My most and least are Miami and Chicago.
Damn, you got Chicago scoring the most? That's crazy.
Yeah, you got me on that one. I kind of want to change off Miami scoring the most, but I'm fine with it.
Locked in now, brother.
See. Alrighty, well.
Yeah, that's all I got. Also, thank y'all for sitting through my Jets rant. Sorry, I had to give that Jets rant because it just baffles me.
No.
No.
Yeah. Anybody else got anything to
Yeah, they're
add?
definitely giving their season away in New York.
Yes, sir.
I'll say this: I don't think the Jets get the #1 pick because I think they're better than Chicago and a few teams overall. Because here's the thing: their first 6 weeks are very brutal. But I'll ask y'all this to close out: in an alternate world where the Jets get the #1 pick, do they move off Rodgers for Caleb?
Oh yeah. Bro, Rodgers.
Because if you draft Caleb, he's supposed to be the next big thing. He's supposed to be the next Andrew Luck.
Rodgers is at the end of his career and just suffered a crazy bad injury.
What I'm saying is like, do you just straight up release Rodgers? Because you're obviously not benching Caleb if you get him. There would be outrage in the Jets if they did that.
I don't know. I feel like if the Jets draft, so the Jets do get the first overall pick. You draft Caleb Williams. I feel like if you sat him under Rodgers for a year, there wouldn't be as much outrage because he's learning from one of the greats of football. with all the hype he already has.
Yeah, there's not going to be any
We'll
problem
see. I
because
think I
there's
think
not a single rookie who can enter this league and be like, yeah, I'm better than Aaron Rodgers. Because as
I mean
much as a hater I am towards Rodgers, I also am very respectful of his game. And he would be one of the best mentors if he was willing to do that to a kid who has this much hype, who has this much potential. That would be the smartest thing New York ever did.
It would.
I agree with that to a point, but it's the Jets, and I kind of think the Jets fan base, because Jets fan base is not patient. I kind
No,
of
they're
think
not. It's
that
New York.
that they're. I think it would start out okay, but I think if the Jets started 0-2 or something, they'd be like, why are we not playing this kid?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
where it would just come down to the Jets making the right decision and letting him sit still. But I think that would be probably the best outcome for him.
Now there's an
Yeah.
alternate timeline because deep down, I think that the number one pick's gonna go to the Chicago Bears.
It's definitely going to someone. There's a lot of people looking for that number one pick right now.
Yeah, they
Well,
are.
I'll say this: your Cardinals, if the Houston Texans do bad enough, your Cardinals could get it with Houston's pick while y'all have a decent season.
Yeah,
They're gonna trade Murray.
I don't think we're gonna trade Murray.
I don't
I
think.
think my belief that we weren't gonna move off of him is kind of reassured now. I think that
I think if they get the number one and can get Caleb, they'll move off Murray. Otherwise, I think they're sticking with Kyler.
I think that I think that Kyler is exactly the type of quarterback that Gannon wants, and I don't think he's gonna move off of him.
But
Always have
I've seen
midgets running around in my
Arizona.
backfield.
I've seen Arizona play enough that I don't think that they're getting the number one pick.
No, I don't think Arizona's getting the number one pick. I really think it's gonna be Chicago because I don't know. Their play calling, if their
They
play
look
calling
bad.
stays the same.
Also, I think
That
Gannon's
coordinator is
smart
so
enough.
dumb. He doesn't know what he has in field.
I'm looking at
And
other teams that I could see. I could see Carolina getting it. I don't think they would move off a Young in a year though. So I
No,
bet they trade the pick if. I don't think they should trade the pick, but I think they would trade the pick
I
if
bet
they
they're
got
thinking they fucked up.
it. Well, that's the. I'll say this: we seen Carolina or we seen Arizona move off of a quarterback in a season, so it could happen.
yeah, but Arizona's not someone to model your game after.
Well, I'll say this: they realized they were like, because I remember you felt bad when y'all cut the guy.
When we just moved Rosen,
Yeah.
yeah, no, we didn't give him an O line. He never had a chance to play good football anywhere that he played. So
Yeah, but I'm saying, so we could see it where they're just like, this isn't the right guy. There's this guy in the draft. We want him. So could happen. I'm looking at the teams that I think could be like down there though, and there's not many. Carolina about ticks the box. I think Minnesota will eventually get enough wins that they're not going to be down. Denver could be down there. Honestly, Denver Chicago could go to
this
deciding
Denver,
factor.
yeah, no,
But
this Denver Chicago game has big implications for
here's
that.
the thing. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure Seattle has Denver's pick.
Oh yeah, they probably do. Dude,
Could
can you imagine?
could you imagine if Seattle got him and he sat behind Geno for a season?
Dude, that's what's happening. That's what's gonna happen.
I don't even know. Who sits behind
Broncos
Geno.
fans ask
I
how
don't
can
know
it get
either.
worse every week. That's how it gets worse.
Well, I'll say this. Seattle could always move Geno. There will how as well as Geno's played, he's got a manageable contract. It's very team friendly, and they could find a team that would take Geno.
That's the reason why I've been against that Kyler wouldn't get traded. His contract is not team friendly at all. He just got paid. We would eat so much cap space.
And depending on how healthy Richardson stays, I could see Indy being down there if things just take a turn for the worse.
But they would probably trade out of it.
Yeah,
I don't know. They're
well,
pretty high up on the kid in Indy.
Yeah, that's what I said. And they would just trade out of it. They wouldn't
that's
trade.
what I was
They would.
saying. I said I could see Indy season turn if they got like if Richardson continues to get hurt.
If he
'Cause you don't know
doesn't
how to
fucking slide. Love you, Richardson,
just
but slide, please.
imagine.
And
Yes,
I could see Washington or
draft
the
value.
Giants being down there as well. As much as
Washington.
Sam
Giants
Howell's
just
getting
saved their
hit,
name.
like I actually like that Manders team, but as much as Sam Howell's getting hit, I have questions about him making it. Rodgers to the Vikings. I mean,
You don't want that.
He would follow the Brett Favre path if he did that.
He will also not look at Justin Jefferson after his one drop in forever.
But that's all I have. It was just a hypothetical I threw out.
I
while
mean,
was
shit.
thinking about
There's
the
a lot of
NFL.
teams that could get that first overall pick. The Vikings are up there for sure. Still. I don't think they will, but the Vikings, if they got it, can you imagine them getting Caleb Williams? Then they have Kirk Cousins
I
there.
feel like the Vikings are a pretty well-run organization. I feel like that's one of the better scenarios for him. I don't want to see him end up in Chicago because that's kind of where quarterbacks go to die.
Yeah, no, we don't.
You're
we
not
don't-
wrong.
And where you end up in the league matters.
Yeah, there's a lot of
It's
quarterbacks
proven
who've gotten
time
fucked.
and time again.
But yeah. Anything else y'all want to add, or shall we wrap this
That
up?
is it.
I'm good.
Alrighty, well, thank y'all for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Boy.
Bye.
Bye.